All right, this is David Towler here, Supplemental Seminary. I'm looking for, let's see, I'm testing my audio. So if you're just coming in here, this is a live stream test on a new setup I have. So if you'll let me know if you can hear me all right. And we're just going to hang out a minute if you have time to talk about church technology. And so I'm going to go in here on Facebook. Somewhere. I got two screens going right now, and I'm trying something new with StreamYard. I'm using OBS as a virtual camera, and that's the reason, one of the reasons you're able to see this behind me, this graphic, and then I've got myself at the bottom. But first, I want to go in here and share this post. Oh, there it is. All right, so I'm live in Supplemental Seminary support page. Very good. That looks like it's streaming well. And as you're coming in, let me know if you're here. Let me know how my audio sounds. I've got everything on. Like I said, this is a test of this new live stream setup that I have, and I want to share with you, and then we'll take any questions you may have, and I can show you on the screen by switching. Let me do that now. If I take OBS and I switch to scene 3, I think it is, this is a camera view that I have over here. And then also, let me get this off. And then I can share the screen with you like this as well, as far as showing you my audio levels that I am doing digitally. All right, this is OBS. You see I've got the virtual camera on my, pull it to the other screen, and also monitor StreamYard. So it's almost like I need three monitors in a way. But the first thing you can help me with, let me know if my audio is coming in. Of course, I got my audio levels I can show you on the screen right now. This is the Hdmi software that I am coming in on now, and then it looks good on StreamYard. So we're coming in good through the ATEM, and we've boosted that signal, and then we're sending that to the ATEM Mini to get a clean gain without getting a lot of hiss, hopefully not. All right, and then we're using the virtual camera on OBS with these different scenes that I can change, and we're doing that through StreamYard. All right, so that's a whole lot going on, isn't it? That's why I like it. So this is kind of an echo effect. So I'm using StreamYard, and we're streaming to 3 locations. I'm streaming to Facebook, Supplemental Seminary. Thank you, Raymond. He says it sounds really good. Appreciate that. So we have, again, we are streaming to 3 locations, which is the Supplemental Seminary YouTube page. We are streaming to the supplement on Facebook, the Supplemental Seminary page, and then we are streaming to the Supplemental Seminary private group, which is the Supplemental Seminary support page. All right. And if you're not a part of that, you can join that. That's just a different group that we talk about church-related technology. All right, so I'm here to, if you have any questions, you can shoot me up. Let me know if you're here, share this. And as I'm just testing now, you can see I've got my main camera in front of my computer. This I've been fooling with the ISO, the aperture, white balance, and something else. And I'm not much of a video guy, but let me know how that picture looks. And I'm offsetting my audio in the ATEM software, because video takes longer to get to the live stream than audio. Video takes longer to get there than audio. So you're going to have a syncing issue with, kind of like the old Japanese movies. Your lips are moving and it's offset. So kind of let me know about that. Right now, I'll show you on the ATEM software. If you look right in here which I can get a pen and mark that. Hopefully it's, you see, if I click on this button, this is an input setting and a delay, and I have that delay on about 6 frames. So what it's done is it's delayed the audio coming in to the ATEM by 6 frames. And so when I took it to the software, it was about 6 or 7 frames off. So that's a nice little feature that they have, that you can delay that. And that is in order so that when I speak, that it's in sync, all right, with the video and audio. So there may be the possibility you may say, hey, you're a little off a bit, and that would help me in this live stream. If you say it's a little sync issue, not S-I-N-K, but S-I-N-C, sync issue with the audio and the video, which is going to be something you're going to run into when it comes to live streaming and pulling from 2 different sources. Unless you go directly to the camera and run your audio that way, you're going to get some what they call latency, and that's going to be a delay. All right. So again, there's a lot that is going into this. We have, and let me make sure you can see what I see. All right, I've got StreamYard going, and I'm using OBS. Let me put that on the screen. Okay, let me bring this over. Oh, wait a minute, that's not what I want. Well, yeah, it is, OBS. All right, so you can see, let me make that larger. Don't pay any attention to this echo effect that's going on through here. It's because it's a recording of a screen, of a screen, of a screen, of a screen. But let me minimize this a little bit and show you, you can monitor your audio. And I'm using this new feature I believe they've added that says virtual camera. And this virtual camera is allowing me to stream to use, as I change scenes here, all right, you can see those in real time. All right, so you see I have different scenes set up. I've got one with the logo, or not the logo, but the banner across there. I've got a scene where I've got this, my Logitech Brio webcam over here is a second source. That way you can see my lighting, the camera, the 2 monitors, OBS, and then the ATEM and the Zoom, and then the microphone, and all that's going in to make this possible. Then I have a screen recording shot, and I know the ATEM Mini is used to switch, so you're probably saying, why are you using OBS? Well, it's because I'm waiting for a cord so I can hook up my computer monitor. So I had to order Amazon cord, so give me some time. I understand you could hook that up, but I just haven't done that yet. All right. So a couple things as we're going through here so far, and again, let me know because you're helping me with this, is one of the, and then I'll go through my little setup, is let me talk about how I'm doing this. All right, there's a lot going on through here. So let me go back so you can see me. So what I've got going video, I'm going to the, let's see, that'd be the Panasonic G7, Lumex G7. It's a mirrorless camera, and that is coming out HDMI to the ATEM Mini, and that is acting as a video capture card. Okay, so I'm allowed to have up to 4 inputs, which I know the webcam, that's not plugged in because it's USB, but so I have 4 inputs on the ATEM Mini, which I can get different camera angles. One of those can be showing the recording of my screen, like, let's see, like this. All right, so that's one of the options. So the video is coming in through the mirrorless camera into the ATEM, acting as a video capture device, and it's being sent to my computer by USB-C on one end, USB-A on the other, into the HP gaming computer that I have that has an i5 processor and 8 gigs of RAM. So that's the video. Then on the audio side, there's a lot going on because I'm more of an audio guy than a video guy. But in short, microphone, Rode, Procaster, XLR, broadcast dynamic microphone, XLR into the Zoom H7 so that I can boost the signal with clean gain increase without getting a lot of noise. I'm boosting that signal on the Zoom H6, and then I'm taking it into the ATEM Mini, as I can show you now, switch views. And then I'm taking that into the ATEM Mini. All right. So this is the Zoom, and what it has 4 inputs, the H6. And what it does is gives me a clean boost of a signal H6 into the ATEM Mini. And then, as you can see on the screen now, I have several things. I have the gain, the initial gain in the software set to 3 o'clock. Here I have an offset of the video audio delay at 6. And then you can click on here and you go to the equalization. And in the equalization, I have, let's see, this would be what, a high pass filter. Okay, I believe it's called. Or is it low pass, high pass? Okay, I'm rolling off the frequencies below 50 hertz. So anything below 50 hertz, it's not picking up. And then I haven't done much equalization here. I'll fool with that later. But then on this side, I'm rolling off anything above 14 kilohertz. All right, roll off the top end and then the bottom end with equalization. And I'm going to do more with that later. I'm going to find and sweep for frequencies in my voice that are very harsh and lower those. I just hadn't done that yet. The next part that I've done that you see working now is I have my input gain set here. I have an expander, and then I have a gate, which only allows anything, it closes if I go under 45 decibels. And then I have the compressor running, and you can see the compressor kicking in every once in a while. That gives you a great boomy voice. It brings your higher levels down, lower levels up. And then I've got a makeup gain here of about 15 dB, and then a limiter, the threshold set at -3, and that is so I don't clip. -3 would get me in the red, which would be clipping, which is bad, which is distortion. All right, you ruin your audio that way. Very harsh. So then on my output, I have give it about 5 dB of makeup gain on the output, because you lose and it's diminished a little bit as it's being streamed. So I did raise that about 5 decibels. All right, so you let me know what that sounds like. If it's too loud, hey, Tim. Glad to have Tim Butler here. And Raymond Surratt. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate that. So as I see right now, I'm the ATEM digital software, and I'm digitally enhancing my voice with let's see, an expander, a gate, a noise gate, a compressor, and then a limiter, and then I've got some makeup gain. All right, so that's the audio side of it. Now, as far as, because I've always said there's 6 things for a successful live stream, which is going to be, number 1, your camera, obviously. Then your audio, which I believe is the most important. You got to have good audio. Then there's lighting. Okay, I have 2 LED. Let me show you those. I've got 3. Let me get on the right screen. 3 lights. I have this softbox in front of the camera that's coming straight down to illuminate me. And I've got 2 of these LED panels on the side to make up for some of the lighting. So if you're going to have, no matter what camera you use, whether it's a webcam, whether it's a DSLR mirrorless camera like this one, no matter what camera it is, you can greatly increase the quality of it by getting the lighting correct. So you need good lighting. All right, so we have camera, audio, lighting, computer. All right, you got to have a computer that can handle this. I usually encourage people to get a gaming computer because it's going to have a graphics card. All right, so I would just say a minimum. You probably could get away with less than this, but I would say the minimum. I mean, you could try it, and you may can find a refurbished computer as well, but you could get a gaming computer that has a not a video capture card, but a graphics card, I should say. And then it has i5 processor higher on the PC side, or at least 8 gigs of RAM to pull this thing. All right. Then one other thing would be the software. And the software that I'm using, I'm going to show you on the screen right now. It's really two softwares. This is a free software, which is called, and I'd like to do more training and videos on my page about this. We have OBS, which is Open Broadcaster software. I like it because you can monitor your audio inputs, your settings, and then you can do all these different scenes like this manually. All right, so you see I'm switching between different scenes. All right, screen recording, second shot. All right, and then this graphic I've created for an example, I can move that around, picture-in-picture type of thing. I can overlay that image. I can hide myself, whoops, wrong one, hide myself here and just show the graphic. So this would be a real nice graphic to show if you was getting ready to do a live stream. I can add myself to it so you can see what I'm doing in the background. Those are some things that you can do with OBS. All right, and then back to the main camera. Then we have inputs or sources that we can put here, and then also there are effects in the audio. You can add filters, such as, you know, if you don't have any other way of doing this, you could go in and add, I got to be careful about this. Let me mute that. Add another compressor. So you can add a compressor, which is going to compress the audio and make you sound better, give you that radio boomy voice. Also on here is an expander. You can add makeup gain, all right, if you needed that. And so if you didn't have any other options, you could, you know, you got limiter, noise gate, noise suppression. All these could be very helpful. If you just have a microphone or even a USB microphone, you could use this to greatly enhance your voice. And well, Tim says, pretty steep learning curve with OBS. No, I don't. In a way, it's pretty overwhelming at first, but I can kind of maybe I could record my screen. I need to do a tutorial on my YouTube page about setting up OBS, but I could show you a few things right now while I'm recording my screen. So let me talk to you about that, Tim. And let me get this pen first. See where it lands. There it is. All right. Let me show you a couple things about OBS real quick, Tim. Love to talk about it. All right. So a couple things is you download the software. It's for Windows, PC, and Mac, Linux systems. I have no idea about that, but they still have it. All right. You can see I'm recording myself here. Don't pay attention to this like echo effect. This is a recording of a screen of a screen of a screen. So just forget about that. These are the two places you want to start out. This is your scenes. Okay. I really scribbled that up pretty bad. This is your scenes, as you can see here, this box. All right. Down here, right here. All right. So your scene is going to be like, okay, scene 1, scene 2. I've just set it up scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. Or you could set up like main auditorium shot, or you could put, you know, computer or computer / whatever. So within your scenes, you need sources. All right. So what you're going to do is go over to sources, which is the next spot. And if you are in a certain scene, you need to set sources. So there's going to be, you know, like for this one, I have video capture device, which is the camera that you're seeing in the box. So that's one. And notice it's on top. If it was behind there, I would be hidden. The next one is the display capture, where I choose which monitor that I would like to record. For example, I'm going to click on it here in a minute and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I go in, let me delete all that. And let me get the clicker back. If I double click video capture, I can switch to my other screen, which is screen 2. All right, you see that? Hopefully. I think you do. Yeah, you do. Okay. So you see now in the background that I've changed which screen capture. Let me switch that back to display 1. Okay. And now we're back on this screen. So you can do that. And whatever you'd like to do, you can have multiple sources. You can add all kinds of overlays, titles, lower thirds, graphics. Well, let me just click this and I'll show you. Audio input capture. You can add a browser if you like to. You can add a color source. You can add a display capture, game capture. You can add an image if you'd like in there, an image slideshow, a scene source, a scene, text, video capture device, and when to capture, and so forth. So that gives you an idea of all the sources. Now, as far as scenes, just create a scene. You can name it anything you want to. In fact, let me do one for you now. I'm going to create scene 5. All right, so that it went blank. So I've got to add some things to this. Give me just a second. Video capture device. Let me add my main camera. There I am. Okay, let's add a few more things to this using OBS in this source. Let's add an image. So I'm going to go down here and click this image right there. So there's the image on the screen. I've chose image. And this is for scene 5. And so I could, put this over here, overlay it. All right. Let's add something else. Let's add another, maybe add another capture device, maybe. The Brio. And let's go over here. I got to click transform, fit to screen, make it smaller. So look at this. This is pretty cool right here. Now you can see both angles, both camera angles. Let me put it up in the corner, match it up. So look at that. I added this, so you can see, the video, the Logitech Brio webcam, and then also I've added on this one scene the image down at the bottom. All right, so there's all kinds of things. You can add a display capture. Let's see if I can do that. Let me just put display capture and let me reduce that. Okay, so I can overlay that. So now you're seeing several things on the screen, and I'm making sure you can. You're seeing, let me pull that down a little bit. You're seeing OBS. All right, you're seeing OBS on this side, okay? And then on this side, I've added another video source. And then down here, I've added an image. And that's all for one scene. So I can go back and I can say, all right, here's my main shot. I go to scene 2, you can see my screen. I go to scene 3, and I'm right here on the Logitech Brio webcam that I'm using as a separate one. And then I could go to 4, where I have an image behind me, and I'm down here at the bottom. I think this would be nice if you go into a live stream. Instead of just having that picture in the back, you have the ability that the people can see you. And then next, scene 5 would be that scene I just created, which is this one, where I have all this goes on, okay? And in fact, let me mute these. All right, so then I can switch between those in real time, as you can see it now, as I'll flip through there. So any more questions about what I'm doing? And then right now, I kind of like this right here. This is pretty neat because I got my webcam angle and then my image. I like that. Put it down here in the corner, and then then you can see OBS going on as well. And I need more monitors to do more than what I'm doing right now. So it's pretty cool, isn't it, Tim? The things that you can do. And I could add multiple camera angles. I mean, the sky's the limit. I could have 15 scenes, 20 scenes. I could have, you could see where this would be beneficial. And then on the certain scenes, I could mute something and it would go off the screen like that and bring it back. All right. So one of the things I may do is make this one a little larger maybe so that you can see what I'm doing. But I'm just toying around. That's what this live, I'm just testing stuff. And yeah, Tim says, maybe when I get home, I can sit with you for a tutorial. I'll tell you, if you come home, I'll teach you right now. No, I'm kidding. But we love Tim and miss him, and I'll be glad to sit down with you and show you and help anybody I can with OBS. And I'm going to talk to my wife earlier today about our church live streams and how we want to level up. We're using StreamYard right now. StreamYard costs about $25 a month. You're streaming in 720. See, one of the things that I'm doing right now, although Facebook is reducing it if you're watching on Facebook, but if you're watching on YouTube, I'm actually, if I've done it right, I should be outputting at 1080p, 30 frames a second is my goal. So that'd be one of the benefits. Somebody would say, why don't you just keep what you got? Well, because everything has pros and cons and everything has limitations, and you know, for convenience, you give up manual control over things, such as in OBS. I like the ability to control the audio more and that type of thing, which I need to check the batteries on my Zoom, which are still sitting good right now. All right, so anybody else have any questions? Or there's a lot of things, as you can see, that we can do in OBS. And see, I can move this in real time so that you can see it. And so if you just join us, let us know if you're here, if you have any questions, you had any issues with your sound system, your cameras, you learn how to live stream. Right now I'm in OBS streaming through, I'm in OBS using the virtual camera going through StreamYard, and we're using that as, I guess, a webcam out or something. I don't know. You don't have to understand all of this. You just got to, you know, it'll work. All right. So if you have questions or comments, do let me know. I'll be glad to help you in real time, as I'm in real time right now. Let me know about the video. How does the video look? And that will help me as well. Let me switch back to the main scene. How does my camera look? I'm not this camera guru. I was following a guy this week I follow on YouTube. He's good with this stuff, and reached out to him, and he told me about setting things at the lowest setting as far as this, because this is a mirrorless camera. It's not like this webcam, which is right. Where's that webcam? Right here. This is a Logitech Brio. It's pretty user-friendly. It has a pretty good picture. It's not really, as you can see, I can use it as a second. Actually, that's a pretty good angle there. If it got more light, it would look better. Oh, that's a pretty good angle too. That way you don't see my snaz here. So let me move that, and you can see that's pretty neat, because you see my camera. And let me give you a little tour here. You can see the new lights I bought, and you can see the acoustical foam that I've been placing. I took down our house. There's one of my degrees. Over here is a soft box. The light really goes dim there. And get right, that's me, of course. All right, and then as we're looking down here, I've got my main, let me get some more light in this camera and it'll look better, which I could go in and manually change, but we're in real time right now. We're live streaming, so that looks pretty good there. So you can see a lot going on with my desk. I got two screens. I've got my microphone, boom arm, which are real squeaky, you know, XLR coming into the Zoom H6, which is a portable, can be used as an audio interface. So you can see the, I don't know if you can see those lines that I'm getting here. Oh, Tim, this is at the church. I've set up, he asked me if this is at the church or the home. This is, well, both. It's at the church in my study, but it's, it is, you know, my stuff. But I said, well, we moved into the parsonage here recently. I said it'd be good to set it up over here at the church, because a good, nice, quiet place to record, and that's something that is very important. So we got with acoustical foam, lighting, camera. Now, this is kind of overkill. I don't expect you to do this. I just enjoy this stuff. Zoom H6, as I mentioned before, this is a, can be used as audio interface. It gives clean gain, if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Of course, it's got limiters and compressors and stuff on it. They don't have activated now. And then I'm coming out of that with either TRS or TCS. I get them mixed up. But anyway, it's stereo coming into the ATEM Mini. And the ATEM Mini, and my main camera is coming in HDMI here, and then I got my audio that I can control. All right, and later I'll be able to switch scenes on this. Once I gotta Had to order a cable from Amazon. It's always like you need one more cable, one more cable. All right, what else? 2 screens. You see OBS on this side, StreamYard on this side. I'm monitoring the comments, and I can place those comments up on the screen using StreamYard. Okay. Would like to eventually transfer to what's it called? OBS that you see. Let me bring that back up on the screen. Once I remember there it is. So this is an OBS. Again, if you're joining us, just ignore that echo effect. But this is a great live streaming software for your church, or even if you'd like to do it, start doing this. You want to do a podcast, or you're looking to start a home office, or even if you want to level up your Zoom calls, I can help you with that and look better than everybody else. All right. So then you have, again, the ability to switch scenes, multiple scenes, or to change it to where now you're seeing, I've just added these through OBS, and I've got just a lot going on. All right. So we was going back to the picture. Tim says the picture looks, video looks good. I'm still tweaking, adding, like some of these effects, like cinematic, whatever. I don't know. I don't know much about the video part. And then you got manual focus, and it's just a lot of factors there. Then, okay, on top of that, let's see, I'm going with screen recording. So you can do that in OBS. You can move yourself around. All right, because that's what it's all about. You can move anywhere on the screen, which is convenient. And thirdly, you can set up a different camera. This would be very beneficial to churches leveling up their live streams, would be the ability to switch camera angles, which will really level up, which we're getting ready to do. We have a camcorder not in use right now that I can plug up in one of our outputs, which is a video capture device. I guess it'd be an input though. Yeah, an input, whatever. And we'll hook that up, and then we could take another wide shot, and switch between angles so that people that are watching don't get bored. All right, does that? This is a webcam, by the way, so you can have a different angle. That way I can show you kind of what's going on here. Something else I'll show you while you're on here is this is a Cam Link. A Cam Link, they were sold out. Of course, it's blue on the inside, so that means it's USB 3. But this one, if you're going to bring in a DSLR or mirrorless camera, which is here, which most people don't know what that is, it's say a photography camera, then you're going to need this little Cam Link. And what this Cam Link does is it is a video capture device. Really, on Amazon, there is a cheaper one, which is going for about between $15 and $30. I've been hearing people talk about that you could try. This one's probably going to run you about $100. But what you need this to go between running let's say a photography camera, I'll call it, DSLR camera up here, to go into your computer, USB. So you see one end is HDMI. So that would be from your camera. All right. And then the other side, USB 3. So you can see where you could bring in that camera into your computer and to be able to live stream using that video capture device. This is an external. Let me switch scenes again. This is an external video capture device. There are internal. I installed in the live stream this Brother Tim and Raymond in Kendall's church. I went ahead and installed because, it's an external one. It's user-friendly. It's easy to hook up. But the thing about it is it's external, and it's going to cost you more because it's more convenient. So I got the Blackmagic mini recorder, which I don't know if I'd recommend that now because I'm hearing some bad things, but which we haven't installed in our church computer. I hadn't had any problems. But it is more of you install it yourself and put it inside the computer, which is a video capture card. And so, that's the benefit of having it on the inside of the computer. It's going to be a little cheaper, but somebody's got to install it for you. All right. Or you can do this is how you get inside the computer. All right. So any other questions that you may have when it comes to church audio, graphics, podcast, whatever it may be. I'd be glad to help you with that. And there's a rabbit hole you can fall down if you're not careful getting into some things. Okay, here's a question from Tim. And what I say is you can fall into a rabbit hole of, and I'm going to get you a question here in a second, Tim, but a rabbit hole of having a bunch of stuff you really don't need. Do you need a DSLR camera? Just depends. You know, if you want the better quality, which I encourage you to do so, especially if you're doing it for the Lord, you want the best quality. But then too, you got to factor in budget and what you're able to do and your volunteers and those type of things. So Tim says, what hardware do you use to interface and switch between cameras? Hardware. All right. So when it comes to hardware, now what you seen a minute ago when I was switching in OBS, which would be a software switch camera angles. If you want a hardware option to do that, there are switchers. Okay. All right. It says, what hardware do you use to interface and switch between cameras? All right. If you want let me show you. Let me switch angles again. All right. Let me take your comment off just a second. This ATEM Mini, which is a Blackmagic design, it is a video switcher. It run you about $295, $300, a little pricey, but it offers all kinds of, it's a video switcher. It's actually hardware. So this one, you know, which I'm going to disappear off the screen, bear with me, I think. I may have stayed on the screen. Yeah, I did say on the screen because I'm coming from the webcam. So you can switch 4 different input or 4 different cameras, or, you know, one could be your computer screen, one could be the camera, and you could switch between sources. That would be an option. I'll tell you a cheaper option that it would be a hardware solution for that. If you bear with me just a second, and I'll show it to you. Hang on. All right, this would be what I would do if I was using OBS, and I do this, and I still may. But this is the Elgato Stream Deck, and this Stream Deck, of course, it's black right now, the buttons, but when you plug it up to the computer, it lights up, and you can program each of these buttons. Like you could program this button to be like camera 1, this one to camera 2, this one to start live stream, this to, and this is, Tim, the one you see me using early on in the church when I do the Bible studies, that type of thing. Yes, so that'd be the cheapest hardware, but it's going to cost you $100, $300 to do it that way. All right, when it comes to switching, yes, the cheapest way to switch between cameras would be on the software side. If you had someone who's dedicated to sit at the computer, which probably would be somebody there anyway, is to do it manually, as you'll see right now, do it on screen, manually by clicking the mouse. Hopefully you can hear me click the mouse and switch between scenes manually. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. So you can see that software would be the answer to that. It would be the ability to, you know, switch. And here's something else you could do, Tim, is use OBS. You could click, and you can create hotkeys to where, like, you know, camera 1 could be the number 1 on your keyboard type thing. So you could use maybe the 10 key calculator on the right hand side to switch those. I may be able to show you that in OBS real quick. Hang on. Let me find my screen capture, which is here. And I believe I go to settings. It may have, yeah, like right here, it says hotkeys. So you could set up these, what's this, scene 1, you know, when you want to switch to scene, you could put in here like the number 1. You could put different ones to switch. Okay. All right, you can do that in OBS. Yes, OBS. You can do that in OBS. You sure can. And that's the one I just showed you about the hotkeys that you would want to go in and you go to, well, it's actually a button that says hotkeys, and go in there and set those, when to start, stop the stream. And so that's a way around it. So there's budget options, I guess you could say, when it comes to that. So you have like I said, the hotkeys that you could set. That'd be the cheapest way to do it. That would be the best way to do it without buying a manual. And then the cheapest one you could buy would be you'd have to go to Amazon and see about the Elgato Stream Deck and see what it's going for now, $150, $200. Then if you went with a manual A10 Mini, which is the cheapest one they have in the line, that's $300. So then you're getting into the video switchers beyond that, way on up there. I'm not even that advanced yet, but I mean, you can go on up with those. All right. So all that's through OBS. So I would encourage each and every one. Of course, you got, there's vMix. I've used vMix some. I like OBS better. I don't know. It's nothing wrong with vMix. OBS just makes more sense to me, and it's free. Like right now I'm actually I could have just streamed directly from, I guess I could. Yeah, I could have, but just to make it more user-friendly, I streamed to 3 locations using StreamYard and using OBS as a virtual, what do they call it, virtual camera. It's a new option that I've noticed on there, so I clicked it, and now everything I do in OBS comes through StreamYard, which now I'm thinking that is very beneficial for our church. Of course, we need a separate screen. So everything with the live stream is problematic. You add one thing, it causes another problem. You're like, well, I need another cord. I have more manual control over my audio, but now it's not as user-friendly. So it's a lot of give and take. But you really don't have to spend a whole lot. If somebody just wanted to there's really no reason nobody should not be live streaming with the church, because there are ways to do it unless they just don't know. You could use your phone as, your video. Of course, that's the cheapest way to go, is use your camera on your phone, and then you could, plug in come off an auxiliary on your analog, if you have an analog soundboard, and to capture audio on an auxiliary, which would be either 1/4 inch or XLR, and the other end would need to be what they call 3.5 or 1/8 inch connector, which would be the stereo. I was looking to see if I had one here in the end, but it's going to have the 2 rings on it on one end. And then if you have an iPhone, you got to put in your little lighting cable where you plug in your headphones. It switches to 3.5 or 1/8, however you look at it, and you'd bring in the audio that way. The next step would be, a camcorder. You could use a GoPro. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. All right. Might be a little aggravating because they get so hot and all, and there's a lot of settings to make sure they don't turn off on you. Camcorder, DSLR, mirrorless cameras. You could get with OBS, you could go out, Tim, and you could go get a couple of those Canon $200 camcorders. Use OBS, and let's see, you'd have to run those into, each one would have to have a video capture card to bring it into the computer. That's a downside. But you would have multiple camera angles, okay? And there's one guy on YouTube called Stephen Ballas. Ballas Media is the name of his channel. And he does a lot of tutorials on that, bringing in multiple cameras, using OBS. That would be if you want multiple camera angles, you just wanted get one camcorder, sit on a tripod, and then you could still add different scenes and place the camera in different ways that way. So there's a lot of options. I mean, if somebody was like really scraping the bottom of the barrel, which I totally understand, if you're really on a budget and you don't have the money for this, you could get started, and I'd love to share with you, if that's something you're interested in, Yeah, Tim says I've got an inexpensive Canon camcorder and a webcam. Yeah, all right. A couple things to do your homework on, Tim, is, yeah, that's me. Yeah, if you got an inexpensive, yeah, and a webcam, you can live stream with a webcam. Now, is it going to be good, the best quality? No, but as long as you amp up your audio, and then there's the distance issue that becomes that, like at Faith, you well know that it's 60 feet from the sound room to the pulpit. That's, so see, HDMI don't travel that far without diminished quality. I know there's ways around that, but it get kind of confusing. Well, not that confusing. It just gets, I don't know, you're making things do things they're not really intended for. But all right, inexpensive Canon camcorder. You need to research to make sure that camcorder has a clean HDMI out, meaning that it doesn't, when it doesn't show the battery life and the time and show it's recording or whatever, which it won't show it's recording when you're doing live stream, but all that information that will be on the screen, like right now, this camera I'm using has a clean HDMI out. Was one of the reasons I bought it. If not, you would see all the details. Like if I put on the screen right now, the display, I'm too lazy to get up and do it, but I could get up there and hit the button and it would show all the information, the battery life and all that stuff. So, I mean, you could still do it. It would look like the 1992 Bob Saget, America's Funniest Home Videos, when you seen all the, in the upper corners, it would say, the time, the date stamp on the, in the corners. But as long as you have a clean HDMI out, you need a capture card. And Tim, I'm going to tell you what I do, because Amazon's extended their return program until January the 30th, I believe it is. So what I would do is I would go get one of those cheap video capture cards, Bobo ones. I put one of them in. It's in Brother Brandon's church at Northside. It gets a little hot to the touch. I mean, it's a little warm, I should say. It's not hot. But it works. He's been streaming just fine. And I told him he could save some money by getting that capture card. All right. And I would try that cheap one. It's a Bobo. It don't have a name on it. I'll look it up for you right now on the screen. Let me get some stuff off of here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We go to, Amazon, and right here, I'm going to make this, well, let me switch. Let me show you what I can do here. Let me show my screen. There we go. All right, so let's look to Amazon. Move myself out of the way because I can do that in OBS. All right, let's go in here, and we want video capture card. Let's see if we can find this cheapo. I've seen a lot of reviews. Here it is. Well, one of them. That's not the one I'm looking for. This one might be it right here. This says Amazon. Wait a minute. Amazon's Choice. All right, it's 1080p. It is blue AVS, I say Bobo, but audio video capture card, HDMI to USB, 1080p. Now here's where, when you're looking at these, here's what you got to watch out for. Okay. And I don't really think it matters. Okay. For what you're doing is what I'm saying, but it's USB 2 instead of USB 3. So, but I don't think you'd ever notice a difference. Some of the things that I noticed people could use. Here's one for $10. External video capture card, audio capture 2.0, 1080p, 30 frames a second. I mean, if you're not even live streaming now, hey, $10. Okay. 10 buckaroos and you can get a video capture card. Let me move myself out of the way again. I got in the way again. So it shows $10 for this video capture device. And that's all you need. See, HDMI input with an output of USB. And, it's talking about, your inputs here, video recorder, webcam. Okay. Let's see, webcam. Webcam is USB. That ain't going to work. Shows your phone. I guess you'd have to have some kind of adapter. And then output, to TV, laptop, or PC. That's going to get you what you want. I guess the only thing I see about that one, which probably won't matter in your instance, is it's a 2.0 jack. And I don't think anybody even noticed. Oh, right here, look at this. He's got his iPhone going in, lightning cable to HDMI. That's a thought. And let's see what else. Yeah, that would work. So that's the cheap one I'm talking about, is these old cheapo Bobo capture cards. Okay. That, let me see, I'm behind your comment there. I just realized that. All right. So that's the capture card. Let's look at the Elgato, which is the name brand, which let's see, it's called a Camlink. There's a Camlink and a Camlink 4K. So this is a Elgato Camlink 4K. It's $122. Here's a video capture card, Tim. HDMI 4K to 2.0. So I'd get one of these cheapos and try it for what it's worth, and you should be fine. Let's see. And here's one. I think this is the one I got from Brandon, but that's where that real cheap one comes out. Oh, this was the one, excuse me, that Brandon is using, because I told him to get this one because it's 3.0. All right. And it goes up to 60 frames a second. So this is the one Brandon has. So it's $90. But I told him to get it because it's got USB 3. But however, like I said, they have extended the purchases on this. So the returns, I mean, from Amazon. And so you could, send that back. All right. So you got Camlink, okay, $120, or you can look at this cheapo one. Let's see what it's about. Cheapo, get the job done. $15, $16. And let's see if it's got what we need here. HDMI input and an output. Let's see, it's a 2.0, but like I said, nobody's going to notice the difference. A lot of the things that I do, people don't even know the difference. I mean, people that are in this all the time realize it. But right there, you have, well, that even says 4K. I would try that one. Let's look at this. Well, he's got it hooked up to his iPhone, to the computer. It's got, okay, input, video, audio. Yeah, output. Okay, video capture. So you got video recorders, webcams, gameplay, TV box. So I had audio capture output to computer or laptop. I would try that one. Let's see what the reviews, if it has any. I might pass them, but anyway, I would kind of research that. Another one would be this. This one's $20, and it's the same thing. 1080p, 30 frames a second. It's all you need, unless your pastor's going to be the pastor's going to be running, and you're capturing action shots. 30 frames a second to get you where you need to go. Excuse me. All right, so video capture device. Get one of the cheapos, Tim. Save the receipt. That sounds old-fashioned, but get the receipt. And okay, how can I test? That's a good question. That's a fair question. How can I test my camera for a clean HDMI out? Well, what you can do is just plug it up. Just plug it up and see if, well, what I would do is I'd Google it, is what I would do. I would Google. If you send it to me, I'll Google it and look it up. But you whatever your camera is, you want to look it up and research it and just see if it has clean HDMI out. Okay. Or you could, another way you could do it, whoops, let me put this back in the shot. I'm messing with OBS and not StreamYard. Let me get this scene back, because I did like that one. I made it too big, but let me add my image back. Okay. So one of the things that you could do is, as far as that goes, let me take that off again, image. And, what I was going to say, Tim, I got a little distracted, but how to test your camera. I always put OBS back over here. I think that's what I had. All right. So how can I test my camera for a clean HDMI out? I would Google it first. I'd try to research it. That'd be the quickest way. See if there's any YouTube videos on it. And then the next thing that I would do would be you could just plug it up. Order one of them capture devices and plug it up and see if it'll allow you to take the menu off and maybe just keep hitting the display button until all those options go off the screen. But that's what I would do. I would first, before I, you can go ahead and order it. I mean, it's $15, $16, but what I would do is research it and just look up your individual. If it's a camcorder that's relatively new, all right. Yeah, Tim says I will research it tomorrow. It's down in the office at church. I can't remember the model name. Yeah, that's fine, because that would be the easiest way to do it. And just to see if it does. If it don't, there is a camera I recommend, which we can go back to real quick. And you probably know the one I'm talking about. It's a Canon. This is the most popular one. What is that thing? A VX something? VX? There it is. This is the, let me get my screen back. Whoops, wrong thing. Click on my picture. All right, this is the cheapest camcorder that I'm aware of right now. There may be others. Oh, you said it's about 5 years old, Tim? Okay. This one is the one I recommend for live streaming. It's the cheapest option. I would research this, though. I think it's this one, Vixia RF. Okay. Now, it seemed like the prices really went up on this. You used to get this one for $200. It is the Vixia. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. This one says $300. I would research it. Most time what I do is go in here and go, click that way and then search Google and see if there's any better deals. It looks like it's running, I don't know, Sam's Club's got it for, B&H Photos got it for $249. So it's went up about $50 since about a year ago. And that definitely has a clean HDMI out. Okay, I know that for a fact because that's the one we used here at the church. So when you're looking for these, let's see if it even highlights the fact it has clean HDMI out. Output. And let's see here. But I know it does, but I don't know if it, shows it in the product description. All right, here's another question that came in. Let me see. Let me put OBS back over here because it's a question about OBS. All right, so this must be this. All right, this is Facebook user, so it's coming from the group site. So I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for commenting. All right, question. If you stream from OBS, do you still need StreamYard to stream, all right, to all the platforms you want? Good question. Very good question. The answer is no. Okay, you don't need both unless you have somebody who's unwilling to learn OBS. Now, OBS will allow you, all right, let me just say it this way. I'm kind of doing overkill now because I'm taking OBS and putting it into StreamYard so I can monitor the chat and integrate the chat from YouTube, Facebook, and the two Facebook pages. You can stream from OBS, all right, before you add a plugin only to one location. Let me show you that. And then I'll show you a way around it. So if I go to settings and I go to stream, you'll notice up here it's got one location. Okay, I can go Facebook Live, Restream, YouTube, Twitch, which I'll never fool with. One location. There is a plug-in and there's a video. If you let me know, I can, there was a guy made a video where there's a plug-in and I have it on mine on here where I can stream two locations. All right, you see this button up here? It says multiple outputs. It disappeared on me. It's like this box. I can't figure out how to get this box. Let me make it smaller, larger, something. But anyway, this box will allow me, but it's pretty clunky though. It's pretty confusing. But what I'm saying is if you add this plug-in that right now it's got that X, I just get rid of it, I guess. Trying to figure out, can't understand why that thing won't pop up in a window. But it's a plug-in that you can add to OBS. Will allow you to stream to two locations, but you're going to have to go in. Let's say if you go, let me see how to put this. If you go to, if you're streaming to YouTube and Facebook, let's say your church wants to stream those two locations, what you would need to do if you only used OBS, you would have to go in and manually go into Facebook and YouTube. This where it gets a little confusing. And set up that stream in both locations if you're using OBS. If you're just using OBS as it comes, you can only stream to one location. If you add the plug-in, all right, then you can stream to two locations, but you have to manually go in and you're going to have to set it on Facebook and YouTube. So you're going to have 3 windows open. All right. And then when you stream, you have to start the stream in OBS, start the stream in Facebook, and start the stream in YouTube. Now, what StreamYard does, in essence, is makes it so user-friendly. Now, what I have done is I'm using right now, I'm going to bring your comment. I'm going to hide your comment just for a minute so I can show you. You see this button over in the side. Where am I? Let's see here. Right over here, you can see I've got start. It says start virtual camera. And what this allows me to do is it makes OBS a virtual camera. All right, well, what that means is when I bring it over in my video input to StreamYard, let me bring StreamYard over here so you can see it. And I bring this over to StreamYard. Let me make that larger. Then if I go down here to the inputs, hopefully, yeah, I believe you can see that. You see I've chosen OBS virtual camera is one of the inputs for the camera. So that way I'm able to pull from OBS, which is really pretty cool. All right. So if that makes any sense, hopefully it does. That when it comes to live streaming, the big thing is if people are not willing to take the time to learn, watch YouTube videos, take tutorials, ask questions, download the software and navigate it and learn from their mistakes, then I would suggest going with StreamYard because StreamYard alone, because it's user friendly. All right. And that goes a long way. If you don't have people that are trained, it's hard. It's enough to keep up with it as it is. But I would encourage everyone to learn, OBS. It would save the church. And we're going to be working on that too. And like I said, well, I guess this might be a way around to stream in 1080p, 30 frames a second, maybe using OBS as a virtual camera. I don't know. Somebody, if you're watching this later, let me know in the comments below. That's a good question. All right. So if you stream from OBS, do you still need StreamYard to stream to all the platforms? You do if you don't know how to do it I don't want to say the old-fashioned way, but you don't know how to do it manually, which is what I just went through when you have to go into settings and actually you'd have to add the plug-in, which there's a YouTube video on Ballast Media that shows you how to download that. Mine disappeared. Let's see, it says, I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. I don't know why it just disappears. It says docs. Oh, maybe this is it. There it is, multiple inputs. But I can't figure out, watch, I'll show you. You see that line across there? That's like a window, and I can't open the thing. I don't know what I've done wrong. But I wish I could show you this because it would, well, there it is. There it is. All right, now we're getting somewhere. All right, in real time here. Oh, it just disappeared again. It just went over here all by itself. I don't know, that window's just, let me see if I can, okay. All right. Stick around. I want to show you. Let me switch views again. I'm going to show you. This is what I wanted to, well, there we go. All right, you see this pop-out window right here? You were asking about streaming to multiple platforms. If you get this plug-in, you can use, well, I'm getting confused myself. You can use OBS to, without StreamYard and without any third-party software, to stream to multiple locations if you're willing to learn that path here. Because you know, like you'd go in here and add new target, and then you're going to put YouTube, and you're going to have to go in here and get your stream keys and, you know, that type of thing. And then you go add YouTube, and then you come down here, and then you could add Facebook. All right. Now there's another option that, so there's, as you can see, there's several options if you want to stream to multiple locations. Like right now I'm streaming to 3 locations. All right. If you use OBS by yourself, you can't do that. You only stream to 1 location. Well, in essence, I could show you a way to stream to another one, but I don't get too confusing. Then OBS, you can download this plug-in for it, and it would allow you to stream to 2 locations. Okay. If you wanted to stream to even more locations, which our church streams to 3 locations, we stream to Facebook, our Facebook page, YouTube, which is very beneficial, and then our website. See, within my website, I have embedded a code which is called YouTube Free, and it sends that to, what happens is every time I update StreamYard and it updates YouTube, it automatically updates on the website so that I don't have to do anything manually. And that way I'm able to stream to 3 locations. Does that make sense? Without having to do anything. So, yeah, there goes that multiple output window again. That's so weird. Irritating. I mean, it needs somewhere to go. It needs a box or something. Somewhere to stay. Maybe there. I don't know. They could open it up. But that would be like a manual thing, like you can see here. Okay. Another option is third-party software, Restream, or Caster.io would be another option. Okay. Any more questions real quick? I'll stay on here just a minute. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. We're just hanging out, trying to do live stream setup. And I'm getting kind of hungry. And I'm really regretting the fact that I run out of my acid reflux medicine. A year ago, had my gallbladder removed. Never had a problem with that before, but now, ever since that happened, I run out of my medicine, and I'm getting a lot of acid reflux right now. So hopefully I can go home and maybe find at least one that will help me, tide me over till tomorrow. All right, Tim asked, I ran down and got camera. It's a Vixia. All right, let's see. Let's look that up. It is a Canon Vixia. All right. Vixia HFR300. See what it comes up to when it comes to the support page. 300 H. Let's just take the first thing that we come to. I don't know. It looks pretty. I don't know. Does that look like the one you have, Tim? Does that look familiar? R300, RF300. Oh, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. I'm suffering right now. A half a teaspoon of baking soda and a shot of water. All right. Oh, man, I thank you, because I'm going to have to run down the store and get some of that. Get some baking soda. All right. So we have sort of. Okay, sort of. Yeah. Let me back up. And if you're in the comments, you got any questions, let us know. I'm taking your questions, comments, and or criticisms. What about this? Might be close to what you have. Let's see. You said HFR 300. Okay, this looks promising. How about that one? Here it has HDMI and out. Man, that looks really promising. That looks really promising, Tim. I believe that might work. But what we need to see about is, okay, does it have a clean HDMI out? All right, white balance, frame, LED screen. Want more video, composite. I'm looking here. I probably ain't something gonna be on the. I don't know, something they would advertise even now. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it listed. That doesn't mean anything, though. That doesn't mean anything. All right, manual, frequently asked questions. Let's see about that. Air travel restrictions, blah, blah, blah. No, they don't. Well, 30. Let's see what else is next. Does it have a clean HDMI out? Is what we want to know. I'm asking about Windows 8. That's not good. That's not good. HDMI. Clean. We want a clean one. Clean. These are strange terms. People are like, what are you talking about? Let's see. Clean. Oh, it's not like cleaning it. Oh, my goodness. We don't want that. Let's search Google, and we're just going to put clean HDMI. There we go. All right. Now here, let's see questions and answers. Oh, here we go. It says Canon Vixia HFR300. And it says 3 outputs, AV, HDMI out. Can you supply HDMI? Oh, that didn't answer my question. Oh, here's one. It says, does this camera support a clean live output over HDMI? By clean, I mean no screen menus. Okay. They say, I haven't tried taking live output through HDMI, but all of the video I've recorded are clean with no screen menus or timestamps. That seems to be the default. So as far as I know is yes. Okay, that's promising. Although they wasn't definitive on it. They don't seem too confident. All right. Something else you could do with this is, let me make sure I'm telling you right. If you get a video capture card, what you could do, Tim, is, let's talk about this a minute. Let's talk about this a minute. Let me give you an option here of something that I would try. Let's bring OBS over here. Here's something I would try, Tim. Take that camera and find out get one of those cheap video capture card, $15 ones. Then look at your soundboard on an auxiliary and see about getting probably an 1/8 inch connector that would come off auxiliary. So something like a 1/4 inch or XLR out, auxiliary out, to go directly to the camera, and then output HDMI over HDMI cable into the computer with this, and then into your streaming software. So let me review that again. Take that camera, test a clean HDMI out by purchasing one of those $15, $16 video capture cards. Get your audio into the camera by using an auxiliary on the back of your sound system coming off an auxiliary. You could do a stereo out too, but auxiliary gives you more manual control over each item on the soundboard, each input. Like if you run it off auxiliary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run it off one of the open auxiliaries, all right, and out auxiliary out. 1/4 inch to the camera, which would probably be an 1/8 inch connector. And then it'll be an HDMI out. See, I had one right here, but this is too big a one. HDMI to the computer video capture card. All right, but yes, Tim, take into mic jack on cam. There's a couple ways. It'll save a step. I'm pretty sure it will save a step. If you don't and you run audio separately, see, HDMI carries audio and video, right? So if you get that audio into the camera, it's going to travel out through that HDMI. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. That way, if you come off your board and wanted to take audio separate, then you're going to need a audio interface. So that's going to be another $100. So I'm trying to save you. And what you can do is reach out to me. I could draw a diagram about that and show you is what I would do. Is I was just looking at that camera. If we bring in over here, if we go back to that camera and we look at the inputs, I want to zoom in on this. Let me make it full screen. And let me hide the comment. And I'll show you what I mean here. Whoops. All right. If we look at the camera, and I zoom in on it, whoops, let's see, where are you? Where are you? All right, right here. All right, you see, oh, I'm in the way again. Let me move out of the way. No, not that. Not the screen, me. No. There we go. Got hold of the wrong thing. All right, let's go down here and try this again. All right, if you say you go down here, see that there's a mic. Well, that's a mic input. That might be a problem, possibly. Possibly. All right, that mic input, would be a, 1/8 inch, 3.5, whatever you call it. Either way, I mean, it's the same thing. The mic in, all right. Yeah, there we go. We got a good, now let me draw here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, see, this is a mic input right here. All right. So come off your soundboard, go into that mic input. I'm thinking off the top of my head in real time that maybe, okay, let's see. Let me go back. I may have misunderstood you. Are you going to use this for the church, or is this going to be like for your live stream, Tim? That'll help me. It says I was hoping to do audio through USB mic into laptop and in camp. Yeah. Oh, nowhere near a soundboard. Yes, Tim. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I was thinking you was wanting to do this for the church. I'm sorry. But now I see exactly what you're talking about. So yes, the answer, yeah, for you. Okay, great. Yeah, you can do that. Actually, that's easier. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy about that because that's easier. Okay, so with that being said, let's go back over here. All right, here's what you need to do. Let's go through this again. This is going to be a different situation now. All right, let's go through it again. This different setup. Camcorder to capture video, okay? You want only video from the camera, clean HDMI in from your camcorder, number one. Video, you would just choose another source using, I'm sure you're going to use the Rode USB mic that you have, which is a great microphone, and just choose a different source. So if you do that in StreamYard, of course, you probably know this, but you would just go into I'll show you on how to do that real quick. You would go into camera, and you can see on the screen now, I think, maybe. Yeah, I have the camera. So you would choose down here your camcorder, and then for the audio, you would choose your Rode USB mic. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now for OBS, let me move and show you how you do that in OBS if you decide to go that route. Put OBS on the screen. I've got to get myself out of the way. All right, so do this for, you would go in down here to settings. No, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, for audio you would, and you'd go to the audio tab. And then within audio, you would choose mic auxiliary audio, the first one, and you would choose the Rode USB microphone. Okay. And then for your video, you would choose, but just be sure to do this if you do it in OBS. Now, watch, you see down here, I've got my levels going right here, and below it is video capture device. Notice I have that muted. Okay. For example, if I go to my, well, you can't see that, but if I had my Logitech Brio webcam or other sources off my camera, just be sure to mute everyone in OBS, mute them that you're not using. If not, you're going to get an echo. All right. But other than that, you're in good shape. Very good. Good question. All right. So I believe I'm going to finish up right there and trust this was a help to you. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to give me a like, and then consider subscribing. And if you'd like to see one of these again, or you would like for me to deal with a specific question, maybe we could do another live stream if you're interested in that, or I'll make tutorials, different videos that will show you how to do the things that we have on the screen. All right, just a lot going on. So we appreciate you. Thank you, Tim, for sticking around and let me help somebody anyway. All right, we'll catch y'all later. I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here. So y'all have a good night.